I'm starting to see as a Black woman dating that we are kind of at the bottom,
Mm-hmm.
and we're not like the first selection. When I walk in, we're not the
You're not the
first to
first
be
selection
looked
of
at.
whom?
I will say of Black men. I'll say of not of all men, but I mostly focus on Black men. That's who I prefer. But a lot of
Black
them,
men marry black women at an 86% rate. What are you talking about?
you got okay. You do have a point there, but
Mm-hmm.
I'll just say yes, they do marry them. But as far as like desires or preferences, as they would like to say, a lot of them like our look or like our charisma, but when it comes to our attitudes or just the way that we communicate and work with them,
So when you say
they don't
somebody
have a
walk in the
problem.
room, how can they tell that about you?
Well, when I say like walk in the room, I mean like when we walk in the room, men are coming up to us first, if that makes sense.
Who are they coming up to first?
I'll say most of the time it's like Mexican, well, Latina girls
Mm-hmm.
or Caucasian women.
Uh-huh.
And
And I'm gonna ask you a straightforward question. Are these women more physically fit than the women you're talking about?
in
No,
some
don't,
cases,
no, no,
yes.
don't give me the special snowflake answer. I hate when women do this. Well, it all depends. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. Look, men are visual.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot tell me that black men walk into a room where all things being equal, all the women in there are 5'4", dress size 4, and they just go to the white women and Latinas. That's not even how we're built. Are the women you're talking about that are getting passed over physically fit? 5'4", 120 pounds, dress size 4. Yes, no.
No.
There you go. That's why you're getting passed over. Because 80% of you are overweight. But you put it off on race. And that's a
I
I
wasn't
said
saying like
when I gave you 86% of black men marry black women at an 86% rate, you still found a way to make your argument.
I was talking about communication and like how
It has to
just
be there has to be an
cooperating with each
approach
other.
before communication.
True.
You said that they're not even approaching, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, how can you communicate if there's not an approach? You can't. So if a black woman in your circumstance that you're talking about gets approached, then the issue becomes what?
Well, I'll say with my experiences, a lot of men my age aren't really looking to settle down or be serious. They're kind of wanting to play the field. So I feel like that's where the communication
But you said these men are still approaching white women and Latinas.
they are. And they go and they settle and
They
have a
settle.
family.
They do what? They settle.
Not settle like settle down. You know what I'm saying? Like get
Man,
married,
man. Okay, okay.
children,
Man. What you
get a
just said makes no.
family.
Okay, man. What
You
you
know
just
what
said
I'm
makes no sense. I said after they approach,
saying?
and then what? You said, well, most men my age aren't looking to settle down. They're playing the field. Then I said, well, what you just said is those men are approaching white women and Latinas. Yes, they are. And then what? And then they get them and they settle down with them, meaning that a black woman could have been settled down with too. It's not the youth, it's not their age. See, what black women never want to deal with is the fact of the matter is your fitness and your attitude are your biggest problems. If you would be as fit as your competition and as friendly, cooperative, and submissive as your competition, you would win the majority of your men like any other race of women do and have done throughout history.
Yes, Godfather is absolutely right. The evidence of it is this lady we are just looking at on the screen right now. This lady knows very well that her weight is a problem because I'm assuming that, she's overweight because of her face and all that. You can see that she's, but she's not doing anything about it. Instead, she'll come online to blaming on, race. It has nothing to do with race. In the first place, why will black man reject or don't want to be with something that shares his reflection? I mean, logically, it doesn't make sense, But in women's head, these kind of accusations or these kind of, things make sense in their heads. Like, black men just decide to ignore black women, just for no reason, which is totally the opposite. Let's be frank here. Is there someone that can tell me that this lady on the screen right now doesn't know that her weight is a big problem and will have a negative impact her daily life? She know, but she's doing nothing about it. Let's keep it going.
But that's what I was referring to with the cooperation and the communicating. That's where it goes wrong.
But it goes wrong from whose standpoint, the men or the women?
I could say both.
No, you can't say both because you just said these men go off and settle down with white women. See, the more y'all do this bullshit, both. It's always both. Why can't you ladies just hold yourselves strictly accountable? Because you're losing to other women. The higher up your men go, especially your generation, more and more guys are saying they're not even starting to deal with women, black women, because of your attitudes. You know this.
I was saying with the community.
Well, then you have to fix it. Because if they're not dealing with you, it's not as though they're not dealing with any woman. So let me ask you a question. Are you saying that the men in your generation are choosing to have no woman, or are they dealing with women other than black women?
They're dealing with women other than black women.
Then right there shows you the problem. They're dealing with women. If you had said they're choosing to not deal with any women, then you could have made the argument. But now if they're dealing with women other than black women, why not understand why? Like I said, number one, are they as fit as your competition? You said no. 80% are overweight and 80% of that number are obese. You've heard black men talk about the attitude. You've been on this channel listening to women who don't even want to smile. And when I start asking these specific questions, you want to go down to both. This is what happens to matriarchy, where you can't hold women accountable. They never want to get down to the point. The problem is on your side. The men are still getting with women, yes or no? The young men are still getting with women, yes or no?
Mm-hmm.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Right. So they're going into the store to buy something. They're walking out with a Becky or a Marisol, and they could have had a Kenya. So it ain't like they walked into the store without money and not intending to buy. You got to make your product better.
But that's what I was saying in the beginning. It comes down to the communication and us cooperating with each other.
No. It comes to you cooperating with us. See, that's why you keep going. See, you keep talking like we're part.
Have one-sided cooperation.
Well, you don't have a choice. See, you're losing to Marisol, Mylene. You're losing to Becky, Marisol, and Mylene. See, you keep saying cooperate with us. Why does he have to cooperate with us when he's going to go over to Marisol and she's willing to cooperate with him? He's going to go to the situation that is going to cooperate with him, then he has to cooperate with you.
But if you're cooperating, isn't that a team effort? So doesn't it take two?
Well, if that's the case, you shouldn't be losing. If what you're saying is the case, all things being equal, you should not be losing to non-black women.
But when I speak with most black men, they don't even want to cooperate with us. They already have it in their mind that
where'd that come from? Where'd that come from?
I'm not sure where it really. I
It
think
just came.
social
It just popped
media.
in their head. It just came from nowhere. One day they just woke up and said, "This is what it is." No, because they've
I
grown. They've
really
grown
do.
up. No, I'm going to tell you where it came from. This is very conversations where it came from. The inability for you guys to be honest. These guys are your brothers, your cousins, your neighbors. They went to high school with you. They went to junior high with you. They went to elementary with you. They went to pre-K with you. Their mothers are you. Black men know black women intimately well because black women run everything in the black community. So if black men in your generation are choosing to not even deal with them, it's not because it doesn't come from somewhere. And you're talking about we need to cooperate with each other. Ma'am, if you're on the losing end of a relationship situation, if you don't get black men, what is your option? White men, Hispanic men, Asian men, Middle Eastern men. They are not running over to the hood or the neighborhood to scoop up black women in large numbers.
I think this video is very, very important, and it's very, very informative about who black woman is. In their head, they see men and women to be equal because that is how they were raised and that is how they were taught. So if you listen to the conversation, about 3 times she mentioned, we have to cooperate with each other. No, it doesn't have to go that way. Any man wants a woman that will cooperate with him. And the other race of women, they understand that. So if they are dealing with a man, they knows very well that they gotta get on the man's program, not, trying to cooperate with each other or something like that. And she keep on saying something like, black men are not even giving them the chance to, work with them or something like that because they already know what time it is. They know what they are going to get at the end. And like I've always said, women mostly, don't learn things fast because in the first place, she has been saying something like black men are getting with other race of women. And like Godfather was saying, it means they are willing to settle down. And settling down, they want wives, women that understand who a woman is and what a woman is supposed to do for a man, especially if he has money and he have options. He's not going to sit down there and relate all this it is what it is. Black women are even getting the chance because, most men just have to deal with them. They don't have the options of, living or something like that. I'm being honest here, because the attitude is very bad.
Is it starting to sink in yet?
I said in the beginning that it already sunk in with me, and I'm realizing that we just don't cooperate. I don't know.
Well, when you said we don't
According to
cooperate, you said we
it's
don't cooperate with each other.
yes, we do not
And,
cooperate with each
and
other.
that's
The
the point. And that's
communication is
and see,
lost.
the point is not we don't cooperate with each other. Black women don't cooperate with black men. You must cooperate with us first. This is about
I know
order.
plenty of black women that would not mind cooperating with a black man or communicating with a black man. It has to be a two-way street. It can't be just receptive on
Okay, I
one
don't
end.
think you're under. I think see again, right there, you ran it into a ditch. I know plenty of black women who would not mind while your non-black competition is ecstatic to. They're wanting to. They're leaving their racial preference of men to come over to talk to black men. They're choosing to come leave their neighborhoods and come get with Jamal. While Jamal's in your neighborhood and you're talking about I wouldn't mind. So Jamal has to ask himself, which woman is more ecstatic, exuberant, and excited about cooperating with me? Kenya or Becky? And by the words out of your own mouth, other women are more because you wouldn't mind cooperating with them. Somebody wants, that means I'll do it if I have to. I'll do it. It's okay. I won't mind. Hey, you want to go to the movies? Oh, I don't mind. You want to go to Hawaii? I don't mind. Hey, you want to go to the movies? Oh my God, I would love to go to the movies. Hey, you want to go to Hawaii? Oh my God, thank you for buying tickets. You notice how different that is? Hello?
So are you stating that it's
Do you
just
notice how different those two things are?
Yes, I noticed the difference in tone and effort, excitement. I see it, I hear it. But what where I'm coming from is when you say we have to be ecstatic or we have to be the ones who want to cooperate or to make it work, how can you cooperate or make it work with somebody who already has it in their mind that this is not going to work out anyway? So let me just get in, get what I want, and move on.
Sounds like you got a problem. Sounds like you got a lot of work to do. Sounds like you got a lot of. If you have a, if you got a, if you're trying to sell something to a market and they already have it in their mind that your product is bad, it's not going to give me what I want. It's not going to give me the outcome. And either you sell your product or you go bankrupt and don't eat. What do you have to do? What do you
Well,
have to
how
do?
can
What do you have to do? Don't ask me a question. What do you have to do?
you have to find out what you need to do to sell your product?
Ding ding fucking ding. Black women have to figure out why black men are not buying them. And then you have to give black men what they want up front. Not you can't. I don't mind. You got to be willing to outcompete Becky Marisol and Mylene, because the problem that black women are having with black men is one that black women have earned. Like it or not, young lady, that's the way it is. And here are your options. If you don't want to earn it, then I'd like to see you go get it with Brad, Ahmed, Jose, or Mohammed. They ain't putting up with it. We all you got. That's why I said you're speaking like, well, we got to do it with each other. No, we don't have to do it with each other. Either you get on our program or you buy a dog and die alone. But I don't think you like it. I don't think you
Huh?
guys like it, and I don't think they like it in that starker term, guys. You see how it goes down? It's like, well, still trying to make it to where, well, it's not fair. Go ahead and say it, it's not fair. It's not fair. Go ahead and say it, it's not fair. It's not right. It shouldn't have to be. How tall are you?
It shouldn't be that
How
way.
tall are you?
I'm 5'10",
Dress size?
160, 165. Oh,
Dress
I'm sorry.
size? Dress
Dress
size?
size, 8 or 10.
Mm-hmm. And you were saying it shouldn't be what?
I was just saying it's gonna. I don't understand how we can make some cooperate or make something work with somebody who does not have interest in doing that. Period.
Mm. They don't have interest. You act like, okay, you make them interested. That's all you got, ma'am. I don't know how you do it. You get off your lazy ass and you try. You fail, you try better. That's how you do it.
To be honest, watching this lady, I think she has been so frustrated all her life, seeing these kind of things that black men are stepping out of their race and going to different race of women. And it's difficult for her to figure it out, you know. And the thing is this, it all boils down to the way they were programmed growing up, you know. I think she's a sweet person, but like I said, the way they were programmed, they didn't program them to make them realize that men and women are not the same. And, for you to get a husband, you need to be a woman that is of substance, a woman that is willing to get on the program of a man, submit to him, serve him, and, just all in all, cooperate with him, And like I said, I perceive her to be a very nice person because the way she speaks very calm, you know. Um, Godfather has said certain things that most of these women, it will trigger them, but, it didn't trigger her. She has remained calm and she's just trying to figure it out. She's trying to learn something. That is what I'm perceiving from her. And like I said, the damage was done when she was a kid growing up. She was not raised to have a mindset that men and women aren't equal because she keep on saying something like cooperate with each other. A woman has to get on the program of a man. That is how it goes across the world, everywhere. That's how it goes.
That's how you do it. Have you ever had to go after something that wasn't given to you? This is entitlement. You're not entitled to a black man. We don't belong to you.
I
Because
never said that.
because black women have for the longest acted like you didn't belong to black men. So now you're free. It's a free market economy. So now you have to sell yourself. You got to compete. And if you don't compete, if you don't, and if the black man is in your neighborhood and you can't convince the black man in your neighborhood that you're the best pick, you think you're going to go to the next suburb or the next group of men and convince them that you're the best pick? You think those women are going to let you take their men?
I just don't. How do black women act like we don't belong to black men?
God
I think
damn.
black women
Did you
don't
not
understand-
answer the question?
Oh, I'm sorry.
If you can't get the men in your neighborhood, what are you going to get? You're going to go to the other groups, other races, neighborhoods. You still got to convince those men and you got to compete with those women. I want everyone to understand this is how lazy and entitled the modern black woman's attitude has become to black men. She can't even understand what I'm saying. I understand that she's really confused because it's like, well, I don't get it because you think it should be easy. Ma'am, if every black man today who was marrying age married every black woman in this country, there would still be 2 million more black women left. Listen and listen well. Marriage is not a guarantee. It is blood sport. It is competition. Every woman is not going to win, and you are going to have to compete. All's fair in love and war. So what do black women who want to have a husband, especially if they want a black man, what are they going to have to do? They're going to have to do what? Figure it out. I mean, people in the comment section are saying the same. Lazy. I just don't get it. They really want.
I just don't understand how is that lazy if we're just stating that it's hard for us to try with someone who literally doesn't even want to give us a chance.
It's hard. Okay, it's hard for you to try. So what? So what? It's hard for you to try. It's hard for you to try. It should be harder for you to live alone by yourself. So what? It's hard for you to try. Then what? Then what? It's hard for you to try. Ma'am, it's hard for you to try. Ma'am, it's hard for you to try. Ma'am, it's hard for you to try. Do you have a college degree?
No.
Okay. Sorry, ma'am. Life is hard. Anything worth having in this life is worth working for. You sound lazy. It's hard. So what? If a man had to work for a worthwhile woman, you women would say, a woman like her is worth working for. True or false?
Yes.
Thank you.
But I never said black men weren't working for. I'm saying black men aren't.
Go back and look at the comment section, man. You don't get it. I get it. You don't get it. And this is how far they're falling, guys. She really doesn't get it. She really doesn't. And I don't blame you for not getting it.
What you're saying, but what I'm saying to you is, how can we try and put forth this effort to somebody who's not even receptive?
First of all, that's a disingenuous ass question. You assume that 100% of black men are not there. I'll give it to you this way. You know how you do it? Because I'm a salesperson. Your job as a salesperson starts when somebody says no. If everybody bought that you asked, there would be no need for you. That means you have to deal with rejection. That means you're saying that how do we do this to a group of men who don't want it? You go ask them what they want. You knock on the door and say, how can I get you to be my boyfriend? What do you need for me to become your wife? You got to actually go to the consumer. I know it's crazy. You got to go to the person who you want to purchase your product and give them what they want. I know it's wild. You don't go to the market and say, hey, tell me how to sell you. Hey, I got this widget to sell. Tell me how. You go out and do all the research and tell me how to make millions of dollars off you. Lazy.
The entitlement Godfather is talking about, black women really think that black men are just for them, regardless of whether they are able to give black men what they want or not. Black men just belong to them. No, no man belongs to any woman. There is no single race of man that belongs to, a particular race of women. It doesn't happen that way. The thing is this: black women just don't want to put effort in their dating life. They just want black men to just accept them as they come, whereby they are not even going to accept black man as he comes. He gotta be making this amount of money, he gotta be this tall, he gotta be, this looking and all that. They are not accepting black men as they come, but they are expected to, be accepted as they come. No, it didn't happen. And she's saying it's very hard. How is this hard? Men in general, not just black men in general are very simple across the world. We are looking for the same thing, a woman that is submissive, cooperative, feminine, beautiful, and not being a hoe. That's all men are looking for. They are not looking for someone that will do something exceptional. I honestly don't know why women think this is difficult. A man even getting woman is very difficult because you have to build your way up. You have to bring external effort. A woman just needs internal effort. That's what it takes to, get down with a man, And guys, that brings us to the end of today's video. Thank you for watching, and more respect on the Godfather's name. May he rest in peace, and may his name and legacy and wisdom live forever and ever. Catch you in the next video. Peace. I'm out.